Check that out, guys. That's awesome. We gotta get out of here. Get this frog bite going. Well, I guess that's kind of a good sign. Oh, man, it's a good fish too. Alright guys, give you a midday, closer to end of day update. It's 10:48, been fishing for 3 hours, only have one fish. Just haven't really quite figured them out yet, and I don't have that many options. I packed really light, so I'm either going to get them on the spinnerbait, the chatterbait, the frog, or the Cinco, and I probably won't throw the Cinco today, so it's going to be spinnerbait, chatterbait, or frog. If I could find a shallower area, I would throw the frog, but I have yet to find that spot. I caught mine on this bait right here. This is they call coleslaw colored spinnerbait. I don't know what company it is, but I will link the bait once I figure out what it is in the video description below. So if you guys want to order it, but to be completely honest, I would not recommend it. I'm actually pretty disappointed in it, and I'll show you why. Earlier when I was casting, I had hit it on my net. And the hook got caught on the net, and I backlashed a little bit. Well, when I was pulling it out, it bent the wire, and bent the wire like really bad. I've straightened it out to the best of my ability, but there's no way that that ever should have bent the wire out. I mean, it was me casting, and it's not like I was rearing back and just firing a cast. I mean, I'm just roll casting this spinnerbait to shallow cover, so it's not very durable at all. The wire it's not only thin, but it just doesn't hold up very well. You know, you could fish thin, flimsy spinnerbait wires and they'll hold up, but this should not have bent on a cast. And then the head of the spinnerbait, I even had to bend it. It was, you know, at like a 45-degree angle off the head, which, I mean, that basically tells me that if I hook into a decent fish on this thing, he's going to absolutely shred the wires on it. And you know, the force of a little roll cast should never have bent the wires. So I actually don't recommend this bait at all, but the reason why you buy a bait like this is exactly for the water clarity that we have today. This coleslaw color, little orange red kicker blade, white blade, chartreuse, they call it coleslaw, that's the color. Is specifically for dirty water, and I actually bought it when I was going to fish the national championship last year, KBF national championship in Louisiana. I bought it for their water clarity, never ended up using it, but you know, did catch me a fish today, first time I've ever used it, and it wasn't very long after I started throwing it. I've thrown a frog, I've thrown a chatterbait for nothing. I did have a swipe on the chatterbait, but the fish completely missed the bait and hit the back half of the Zaco. So this is the trailer on this is the Zaco, but this is the kick and tail Zaco. These are somewhat new. Instead of having that little fish tail, it's got the boot tail, and that fish came up on my chatterbait, white chatterbait jackhammer, and hit the back end of the trailer, missed the hook completely. So technically 2 bites, but once that happened, that kind of clued me in on, you know, they're not seeing very well. They're not able to find these baits very well. So that's when I pulled out the coleslaw spinnerbait, and I would say not even 5 minutes after pulling it out, I had caught a fish on it. So I thought, okay, you know, this is the deal. Well, it's probably been an hour since then and no more bites. So who knows? I may only end up with that one fish, but I'm almost positive I didn't get the coronavirus today, which is good. And I did catch a fish, so so far so good. Hopefully I get one more. That'd make me feel a lot better. Stay tuned, we'll see. All right guys, that's gonna do it for the video. Not the most exciting video, not the most exciting fishing trip, but it does beat staying inside and being on lockdown from the coronavirus the entire time. I set 3 goals leaving the house this morning. Number
Turn
1 was
to State Route 67 South.
Don't get the coronavirus, which we'll see how that goes in a few days. Number 2 was don't get stabbed by a homeless person underneath the bridge. I did not get stabbed by a homeless person underneath the bridge. And number 3 was catch at least 1 fish, and I caught at least 1 fish. So as long as I don't get the coronavirus in the next couple days, I accomplished all my goals. I didn't set you know, the highest goals, but I did catch a fish. And I caught a fish on a spinnerbait that I've never thrown before, but again, I'm not really satisfied. I'm actually kind of disappointed in that spinnerbait. I'll have to buy a different spinnerbait, different company, but the same color. As for the river, it was cool, but it was way too much of a hassle. I just don't have the wheels, I don't have the Boondocks landing gear, I don't have the fancy equipment to transport my kayak, and that trip from the truck down to the water was a long ways. It was longer than I thought it was going to be, and my kayak with my cheap flat Craigslist wheels, it's not the way to do it. I mean, that even with really fancy Boondocks wheels, it would have been a pain in the butt. It was rough on the rods, it was rough on the gear that was inside the kayak, so
stay to the left to I-8
after
West.
I reached the truck, I told myself it's just not worth it. You know, I'm just gonna have to figure out other ways to fish, because that's probably gonna be my last trip to the river. But it was a good time. I hope you guys enjoyed watching the video. Maybe it'll give you some entertainment while you're sitting there trying not to die. I appreciate you guys tuning in as always. If you're new and you like what you saw, hit that subscribe button. If not, hit the subscribe button anyways, because you feel sorry for how few subscribers that I have. Leave me a comment
2.5 miles.
if you want,
Exit to exit
and
14B.
hit that thumbs up
State
button.
Route 1.
I will see you guys soon. I'll have some more videos put up on the channel, and until next time.